स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Salutations to Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ma Sri Sharada Devi, and their brilliant ambassador Swami Vivekananda, who was a product of all their spiritual sadhana. Very happy to see all of you, young minds, assembled here on this auspicious day of National Youth Day. We are celebrating the birthday of Swami Vivekananda. I am sure all of you must have studied the biographical sketch of Swami Vivekananda. What I would like to point out is what is the contribution of Swami Vivekananda to this country, this culture, and also not only to this country and culture, but to the entire world. He has changed the world order in a very unimaginable way. When he was born, imagine what was happening in the world, especially in our country. Country was under somebody else's rule a few centuries, under Mughals rule, followed by English rule for a couple of 100 years. We have lost, once upon a time our GDP used to be 40% of the entire world. From such a rich country, because of these rulers, this entire country was looted and it has become very poor. Not only that, by the time they have ruined our educational system, they have burnt our international universities like Nalanda, Takshashila, and there was a brilliant educationist from England called Macaulay who has changed our education system in such a way that they will produce only people, clerks for the British Empire. No self-motivation, no self-respect, nothing. And with this, there was a deterioration in the social fiber also. Like the caste system, which was not dominant in the earlier India, British people have fueled differences in our society because their policy is to divide and rule. So the society has become divided on caste lines, language lines, you name it, it has become divided. Once upon a sovereign, unite India has become into smaller places, and people started working on it, how to come back from it. You know that Sipai mutiny, what they call, army people started revolting, and some educationalists like scientists like Jagadish Chandra Bose and others started working on the science aspect, and Brahma Samaj and other organizations started working on the social evils of that time. These are all piecemeals and were not effective against the British Empire. So that is when Swami Vivekananda was born and trained by Sri Ramakrishna. He has looked at all these things going on in the country, across the world, and then he went to the Parliament of Religions. That is where first he made a big impact, the ripples of which we still feel, and that recorded speech of his in the Parliament of Religions I would recommend all of you to listen to. It's available in YouTube. Please listen to it. It it will change everybody's life. It is such a life-changing proposition. So, what is it that Swami Vivekananda proposed and implemented? Swami Vivekananda's biggest contribution is he said India may be poor economically, India may be divided socially, India may have so many disadvantages geographically, but India has one strength, that is its spirituality. So, the regeneration of India will come back only if we resort back to our spirituality, our culture, and so on and so forth. So, for the Renaissance, he has proposed spirituality as a main path. And what is the spirituality Swami Vivekananda taught? Not, not going to temples, churches. This he didn't condemn it, but he said you cannot stop religion at that level. So he brought in the highest wisdom of Vedas called Vedanta to practical life. He coined a term called Anushtana Vedanta, which means practical Vedanta. Vedanta, people shy away. The moment people say it's no for old age people and it's too cumbersome, it's an intellectual exercise. But what Swami Vivekananda did was to bring it to you, me, and everybody in the society. He made it so simple. Actually, the original concept also is simple. In between, people complicated it. He says everybody is divine. Underline. The only teaching of Swami Vivekananda, if you want to remember, build your career on, he says that everything, not even being, everything in the world is divine. It is taken from Vedas called Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Entire thing is divine. I am divine, you are divine, he is divine, table is divine, this classroom is divine. So, if you remember this one mantra that everything is divine, your perspective of life towards everything changes because everything is divine. So, you cannot hurt anybody, you cannot blame anybody, you cannot denigrate anybody. That is one aspect. Second aspect is divine means God. God means omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. So he says, you are but that kind of a powerful man. That is the singular message which Swami Vivekananda echoed all through his literature. And actually, some of the younger boys like you, a bit naughty, once asked him in US, we are all mortal human beings. Swamiji, why do you call us, you are hypnotizing, saying that we are all divine and gods? So Vivekananda answered it in a very beautiful way. He said, no, young boy, I am not hypnotizing you. The problem with you is you are in fact gods, but you think you are human being. So what I am trying to do is I am trying to de-hypnotize you. All of you being gods, you think you are ordinary mortals with all weaknesses and keep crying at all small problems of the world. So you are not the mortals. You are in fact, your true nature is divine. So based on that, he wanted to change the perception of India, and with that he has resurrected the self-respect of India. First he wanted was, you first respect yourself, respect your country, respect your culture. That's how he started the Renaissance. Actually, if you look at the later part of the independence struggle, people like Tilak, even Mahatma Gandhi, picked up some of this spiritual basis for the fighting. Ahimsa comes from Vedas. So that is what culminated in independence and subsequent building. With that, I'll tell you, this is a bit abstract, so I'll tell you a few instances next. So this is the story, I'm sure you must have heard about it. There is a lion goes for hunting one day. So it finds a group of lambs, and when it goes there, they all start running. So when they start running, what catches its attention is there is one small lion cub which is also running along with the sheep. So the lion catches of the cub and says, "Why?" Then it bleats like a goat. He says, "You are a lion. Why are you behaving like a goat?" So he says, "No, I am goat. I have been brought up here. They have been giving milk and all. I am like anybody else. I am a goat here." So the lion drags it to a pond, freshwater pond, makes it look into the water and says, "Look inside. You look exactly like me. You are not a goat, you are a lion. You and now you should not bleat like a goat, you should roar like a lion." And the lion, the cub starts roaring like a lion. That is what Swami Vivekananda did to our country. He said, "You are not, the downgraded country or bad country or, socially unjust country, but you are a very strong, powerful, spiritual nation." That is the message. Next. So this I have told you. One more important thing which we should learn from Swami Vivekananda is the spirit of questioning. He met his master. Those days in Calcutta, there was a very powerful movement called Brahmo Samaj, which was kind of an atheistic movement. And naturally, with some spiritual inclination, Vivekananda was at crossroads whether to believe God or not. So he went on asking whomsoever met, "Did you see God?" So the answer was negative. Nobody could satisfy him. It's only when he met Swami um, uh, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he is the one who said, "Yes, I have seen the God. I see him as much as clearly as I see you. Not only that, if you do what I tell you, you can also see the God." So that questioning spirit. See, several times we think questioning is a wrong thing. Unless we question and learn, the authenticity will not be proved. That is one thing which Swami Vivekananda's life we have to take from. The second aspect in the same story is not theoretical knowledge is not enough. It has to be converted into a real-time experience. That is what he asked Swami Ramakrishna, and he touches him, and then he gets into that samadhi, spiritual mode, when he realizes all these forms are basically different forms, and the base of all of us is one spirituality. So, till he gets that experience, he did not leave Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. At the same time, he did not believe him also. That is the second lesson we learn from this. Then, after the experience, it goes for 3 days. After the experience, Ramakrishna asks him, "What do you want to do?" So he says, "I'll go to Himalaya and continue my meditation practice." Sri Ramakrishna says, "No, that is, you are being very selfish. Whatever knowledge you got from the spiritual awakening, that should be useful for your family, for your country, for the entire world. Human race should benefit him. So he says, temporarily, I am withdrawing that experience from your memory. Now you are back to normal one. Now you start working for the betterment of the society. So next, so that is the greatest thing. We will come to this a little later. So he founded, after Ramakrishna Paramahamsa died, he established this Ramakrishna mission. The mission statement is Atmano Mokshardham Jagadhitaya cha. The two aspects. One is, first you realize you are divine, the God principle in you. Then you realize the God principle in everybody in the society. So serve all of them as God, what we call Manava Seva, Madhava Seva. So that is the principle. Important thing is you have to realize your spiritual potential, but don't stop. A lot of religion stops there. So he says, no, that's only half the religion, and you are selfish and you go to hell if you do it. Actually, there is one great saying which he says, which he quotes often from the Mahabharata. Natvaham kamaye swargam Rajyam, Natvaham kamaye Rajyam, na sukham, na apunarbhavam, kamaye dukkhataptanam, praninam artinasanam. Natvaham kamaye Rajyam, which means I don't want any kingdom for myself. Na sukham, I don't want to enjoy life also. Na apunarbhavam. Usually spiritual people, if you ask them what do you want, I want moksha. He says, I don't even want moksha. Then what do I want? He says, kamaye dukkha taptanam. What I want is, there is a lot of sorrow in the world. Dukkha taptanam, praninam artinasanam. I want to remove each single tear from every single person on the earth. So that is the mission with which Swami Vivekananda, this is taken from Mahabharata, not his own, but he popularized it. He said the mission of life for anybody should be self-improvement along with the improvement of the society and this one which you live in. And that is what he says, service to humanity as a worship. Shivajnanena Jiva Seva. That is another motto he has coined. And the another important thing from the life of Sri Ramakrishna, who practiced every religion. He practiced Hinduism, different sects of Hinduism. Then he has practiced Buddhism. He has practiced Islam. He has practiced Christianity. And he has seen that the top of all religions is the same. The Godhead of all religions is the same. They are all religions are like different paths which lead to a common goal. So that tolerance of religions is another greatest virtue which Vivekananda promised. And beyond all, this, the last one, work as a spiritual discipline. I mean, we work for earning a degree, like when you are studying, or when you get a job, you work for earning for livelihood, or you work for name, fame, whatever. But the kind of twist which Swami Vivekananda gave to the work is worship. You need not go to temple, church, or mosque for worship. You do your work properly, that the other person whomsoever you are working with is a god, that itself becomes a big sadhana or upasana. This is another interesting episode which you read from the biography of Swami Vivekananda. Once he took monkhood, he was wandering. When he was going through a small village, a lot of monkeys start attacking him. They start running behind him. So he keeps, running away from them. Then one sadhu sees this tamasha and says, "Young boy, you stop, don't run. They're all idiots. If you chase them, if you keep running, they will chase you. What you have to do is stay, take some stones and throw at them. They will run away." So that was one of the greatest stories which impacted Swami Vivekananda. He says all problems are like these monkeys. If you start running away from them, they trouble you. Face them. You attack them, you will win. That is another big message for all the students, not only students, for everybody. This was the message which I was telling you, that I don't want kingdom, I don't want happiness, I don't want anything. I want to wipe tear from every single person's eyes on this earth. And this is another thing which he encouraged wherever he went. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This is again a very famous quotation from one of the Upanishads. Uttishta Jagrata Prapyavaran Nibodhata. So he wanted the entire country, entire human race to realize they are divine, and he called it as Prabuddha Bharata, that is awakened India. This is another very interesting thing. I'm not sure whether Vivekananda said it, but it goes in his name, which says that talk to yourself at least once in a day, otherwise you may miss a meeting with an excellent person in this world. So first thing is that self-respect. That is the cornerstone for character building in any one of us. Another quotation is, the world is the greatest gymnasium where we come to do workout. So problems are for our improvement. So don't get chickened out by them. You face them, you emerge as a stronger personality. Then this is another thing. When he said you are divine, he qualifies it with this statement, saying that all power is within you, omnipotent. God, when we worship as omnipotent. So you can do anything, everything. Believe in that. Don't believe that you are weak. Don't believe that you are half crazy lunatics, as most of us do nowadays. Stand up and express the divinity within you. Actually, in some other place, he tells it more powerfully in simpler language. He says, strength is life, weakness is death. If you feel you are weak, you are dead. If you feel you are strong, then only you are alive. Take up one idea, make that idea as your life, think of it, dream it, live it, and let brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea. This is the only way to success. That is Swami Vivekananda's mantra for success. And this is another profound statement. It says, in a day when you don't come across any problems, you can sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. That means any path, every path have obstacles. They are for our own development. That is the spirit with which we should cross the hurdles. This is another very, very, very important one. Once we start achieving something in life, we start looking upon others with a bit of conceit and look down upon them. This is again, the basis is the same. You treat others as divine. So temporarily, they may have some weakness, they may have some faults, but condemn none. If you can help, help. If you cannot help, fold your hands because they are God, and bless your brothers. Let them go in their own way. So essentially, the bottom line is live and let live. This is what, anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject it as poison. As I said, strength is life and weakness is death. Another important thing is this. Several times, many of us, whenever things happen for good, you take the credit. Whenever something starts going on, you look at other team members and says, your fault, your fault. Somebody else's fault. If nobody, say it is fate. So don't do that. Take responsibility. That is the way for uh, to face life and come up in life. Then this is a beautiful advice Swami Vivekananda gave to maintain our relations. Who is helping you, don't forget them. Who is loving you, don't hate them. And who is trusting you, don't cheat them. A very, very important lessons for maintaining good relations, because ultimately, what are we but our company and our relations? This is the important emphasis. It was there in our religion from Vedas onwards. As in the beginning we said, there are two aspects of Vedic religion. One is individual religion, where you pray, you meditate, you do puja, homa, whatever, to discover the divinity in you. But don't stop there. He says, Swami Vivekananda says, this country suffered because in the name of spirituality, in the name of personal improvement, we ignored the society. We ignored our responsibility for the society. So the society has gone down economically, socially, politically, and we conceded our country to the rulers. So to be successful is you should have both these two. What Veda calls pravritti. Pravritti means external achievements, that you get degrees, you improve technology, you improve facilities. At least all of you who can generate wealth, generate and share it with the lesser privileged brothers who cannot uh, be generate that kind of a wealth and facilities. And same time, don't forget your inner soul culture, because what happens is the West completely depended on the external development, external well-being, and with that, you see 60-70% of the Western population are on sleeping pills, are on antidepressants, because when you go home, there is nothing. If at all you go to the pub, no relations, no this one. Only you are measuring life by your number of cars, your number of bungalows, your achievements, your shares. So that is all, he says that's only half of the market. Similarly, when you come to this part, Eastern world, people started meditating. What happened when Buddha came? It looked fantastic. Everybody said, let us meditate. People started, kings started meditating. The army started meditating. Everybody started meditating. When people came and attacked us, there was nobody to fight. So don't neglect. If you neglect internal word, your life looks empty. If you concentrate only on the internal development and neglect external development, it is bad. So actually in the Gita commentary, Adi Shankaracharya himself writes this. He says this pravritti and nivritti, the external life and internal life, they are two wings of a bird. So if a bird has to fly high, you need two strong wings. You have to be strong internally, you have to be strong externally. So don't neglect one for the other. So this is the main message. First message is everything in this world is divine. Second is this divinity has two arms. One is realizing in yourself, realizing in others, improving your inner soul, improving the society to the best of your ability. So, to pay homage to Vivekananda in true spirit is to concentrate on both these arms, the pravritti dharma and nivritti dharma. You should be a victor in your internal consciousness. You should be a victor in the external world also. With this, we pay our homage to the great sage Swami Vivekananda. I conclude my speech. Just after me, say Jai Vivekananda, Jai Jai Vivekananda, Jai Jai Bharat. Thank you all.